Alright, so good morning. We woke up to this beautiful day in this canyon here. Everyone else is up and awake too. We're also joined last night when we had fallen asleep, actually only by 8 because it gets dark here so early, by our friends Paula and David, Marco's daughter. Yeah, so Dan's been packing up already. He's got all his stuff out. I'm about to do that. We're just gonna have our tent set down a little early and then go get some coffee and breakfast. There's a lot of good food cooking out there right now, and some really good coffee. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I actually have no idea where we're going today, but you can bet it'll be fun.
Peter and Dan here from the Adventure Guys channel. For the past 5 years, we've been living off the grid and overlanding to some of the most remote places on Earth. Join us as we continue on the journey, bringing you an all-new perspective from the saddle of our adventure bikes.
After a great sleep last night in the desert and a delicious breakfast, we group up and listen to the day's schedule.
Today, I made this schedule, and I think I maybe made it a little too intense. So we're probably going to trim off a few of those things, just in the interest of time, and that way we can find a nice camp spot, hopefully before everybody else swarms the desert today on a Saturday. So what we're going to do is we're going to head out of here, and we're going to head down. We'll go down to Fish Creek, which is beautiful. You guys will love Fish Creek. It's like a Star Wars movie. It's so cool. It's like you're on a different planet, just the geological formations out there. And then we will hit up the Wind Caves, which is pretty cool. We got to hike up a little mountain to get to it, but it'll be fun. It's not a long hike, but the rock formations up there have been eroded by wind and created all these kind of arches and caves, and so it's pretty cool. And then I think what we can do is we'll see what time it is, and we'll head up probably to Hawk Canyon and kind of go exploring there and see what we find. And Marco and I both have a couple camp spots marked out there, so we'll find a good spot, and maybe we'll just get to camp early today and just kind of chill, which might be kind of nice. So
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
No downside to that.
No downside. All right, let's roll out of here.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Alright, so we're headed out. All the Jeeps are starting to go, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun day.
On our way out of camp, the convoy gets a little bigger when we meet up with Andy and Stacy. Now that everyone is here, we make our way to Fish Creek. Although every place we have ridden has its own challenges and elements of fun, the desert is quickly taking the top spot in both our hearts. It also makes us wish we had more aggressive tires, but that just makes a good excuse for us to come back someday. Once relinked with the convoy, we head into Fish Creek. And Brad wasn't kidding when he said this place looks like a different planet.
Well, this is really cool, eh?
Oh, it's insane.
What did he call this? Fish Creek?
Yeah.
It's super cool. It's you know, it's similar but different from yesterday. Much taller canyons all around us. Like here we're coming out of it kind of, but still spectacular. That's cool.
It really does look like a different planet.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's cool.
Riding in sand is something we're still getting used to, but what better place than the Anza Borrego Desert to learn?
Alright, so we just stopped for some lunch. It's a hot day on 12 o'clock. We're just gonna quickly eat and then get back on the trail. I still don't know our definite direction, but so far it's been beautiful and a lot of fun, so it doesn't matter.
After lunch, we hop on the road for a short section before turning back into the desert. Once again, we are led to a beautiful camp nestled in the canyons. You couldn't ask for a better spot.
Hey, get out of there!
With camp set up, Jason and Marco pull out their cooking saddles to make some delicious food for the whole group.
So this is tri-tip, cooked on the big green egg. So a little bit of smoke. We've got caramelized onions that Marco and I threw a couple secret ingredients into. A little bit of Roma tomato and some blue cheese. And then we're gonna top it with some jalapeno olive oil from Temecula.
That's awesome, man.
BMW, and he had his own little like box that he sat in. He had goggles, helmet, everything, like a jacket, and he was like, it was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
So we're pulling out of camp here. Everyone's all packed up. Actually got so busy we were filming a bunch of walk-arounds of all the cool rigs here. We actually I had Dan grab the GoPro and quickly steal some footage while I was filming for Epic Family Road Trip. We did a walk-around of Marco's Jeep. He has a 392 Jeep, which is just built absolutely perfectly. Got it all wrapped up, matched with his Patriot camper. I think he has the X2. Such a sick rig. I think if I were to ever get a Jeep, I'd want to get a 392 as well. It's the coolest thing ever. And he's got some amazing MagnaFlow exhaust on there that just makes things sound so cool. So
we got a bit of that walk around, which is awesome. And yeah, so we're pulling out of this desert camp here. Great spot, and we're gonna be heading back before we all part ways today. It's gonna be kind of sad, but this has been so much fun. Now that the sun's really come up, it's starting to get hot. That's why I'm wearing a jersey. Got Moskomoto's Woodsman 2 pants on, and then Mosco's jersey as well. I believe it's also called the Woodsman something, but Daniel favors his climb gear. He's got the Badlands Pro gear on. The benefit of that is just throwing on your pants with built-on armor, and same with your jacket. And then he just unzips it all, and it's got a decent amount of ventilation.
Depends on what we're doing though. When it's a trail like this that isn't too rough, then I'll wear this. But if we're going like riding in Moab or doing a more difficult trail, then I definitely will wear more armor.
And with our current tires, they're still the same Continental TKC 80s, but they're starting to wear down. We're getting on to 2,000 miles, which have been a majority off-road, and that's, you know, spinning on rocks in Moab, that's riding the Colorado passes, and then a decent amount now in the desert. The center knobs are pretty much non-existent, and then the side like cornering knobs are more what's still there a lot. So it's actually it's not too bad right now in the desert, but we're looking forward to getting some new wheels on. We're also following in the middle of the convoy here because we don't have our tread systems yet for navigation. But it's actually quite fun being in the middle of, like, I think there's like seven Jeeps. There's 7 Jeeps here, or 6 Jeeps and 1 Gladiator. It gets so dusty and cool. It feels a bit like Mad Max or one of those, you know, really cool convoys, post-apocalyptic convoys. So it's not bad actually, even with the dust. I'm wearing 100% our Mega goggles, the Hyper Lens, and they're awesome in this. I'm not getting any dust in my eyes whatsoever. That's with a Climb Creus Pro, and then Dan's wearing his Creus Pro, but with the, what is that thing called? The transition lens visor on, which is comfortable, much better on road for long distance driving. We've been swapping that out because I lost mine when I got the goggles. But yeah, it's a lot of fun here in the desert. The heat is what all of our gear is more geared for. We're pretty lightweight, everything's perforated, and it's this is where our stuff really shines. Looks like we're heading back onto the road. I think all the Jeeps are gonna air up, and we might do the same.
The next stop is to check out some interesting metal statues in the desert.
Those are some neat statues.
So much dust. Not too much. Not too bad. We just cleaned them out. Not too bad. These statues are really cool. We've been driving between a whole bunch of them and we come up to this dragon type thing. It's we're gonna get a closer look at it, but I'm not taking the vehicles in there. It starts way over here, out there in the desert. You can see the tail and then it goes right up to the head further up.
After driving through the desert statues, we head to our final stop where we will part ways.
It's like Andy's mom's Christmas tree, but opposite.
Yeah, but
Good luck on your channel. Safe on your bike. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Oh yes, absolutely, yeah.
Regina,
Tomorrow?
it's
Okay.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Come say bye.
See you, buddy.
It was good to see you. Yeah.
Crash the party. You guys are welcome to crash the party. It was nice meeting you. Take care. Be safe.
I feel on.
See you, bud. Take care. Be
So
safe.
great meeting you.
So wonderful to meet you.
Bye, Jordan. Your family. You won.
I'll send you a message if you ever need anything in Arizona.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Adventure Guys. Stay tuned as we prep the bikes for our next adventure and look at the year that's gone by.